Hi, I am JayantaDatta, a student of the PGP 2017-19 batch of the Indian Institute of Management Trichy. As a part of the course requirement for Indian economy and policy, I am here with a video on balance of payment. So what a balance of payments basically mean? In the modern world, there is hardly any country which is self-sufficient in the sense that it produces all the goods and services it needs. So every country basically indulges in trade of goods and services with other country to meet its requirements. Besides the trade of goods and services, there are flows of capital. Foreign capital flows are in the form of portfolio investment by foreign institutional investors or by foreign direct investment. The balance of payments is a systematic record of all economic transactions of residents of a country with the rest of the world during a given period of time. So why do we basically need to keep these records? The main purpose of keeping these records is to know the international economic position of a country, which helps the government in making decisions on monetary and fiscal policies on one hand and trade and payment policies on the other. So what are the various components of India's BOP account? The BOP account comprises of current account, capital account, errors and omission and changes in foreign exchange reserves. Under current account of the BOP, transactions are classified into merchandise and invisibles. A major part of the transaction in foreign trade is in the form of export and import of goods, which are visible items. The money earned from Indian exports of goods, for example, cars sold to Nepal, is credited to this account, while payments for imported goods, from, for example, aircraft sold in India from Russia, are debited. The difference between exports of goods and imports of goods is known as balance of trade. If export of goods greater than import, we have a trade surplus. If export is less than import, we have a trade deficit. The invisible transactions are further classified into three categories, namely services, income, and transfers. So services includes a large variety of non-factor services sold and purchased by the residents of a country to and from the rest of the world. The payments are either received or made to the other countries for use of these services. Income includes profits and dividends earned by residents of India on their investments abroad and vice versa. It also includes interest payments, that is, servicing of debt liabilities. Transfers are unilateral transfers which include gifts, donations, personal remittances. So basically, a current account deficit means the value of imports of goods, services, investment incomes, transfers is greater than the value of exports. It indicates net outflow of foreign exchange. Next, we come to the capital account of balance of payments. The capital account of BOP records all those transactions between the residents of a country and the rest of the world which cause a change in the assets or liabilities. It is related to claims and liabilities of financial nature. The capital account further classified into foreign investment, loans, and banking capital. The foreign investment comprising of FDIs and FIIs, both are forms of investment made in a foreign country. FDI is made to acquire controlling ownership in an enterprise, but FII tends to invest in the foreign financial market. In most cases, the former is given preference over the latter because it benefits the whole economy. Loans include external assistance, external commercial borrowings, and trade credit. External assistance means borrowing from foreign countries under concessional rate of interest. Commercial borrowing, under which the government and private sector borrow funds from world money market at a higher market rate of interest. Banking capital includes NRIs deposits which who kept their surplus funds with Indian banks. So basically, a deficit in capital account arises when debit items are more than the credit items, which indicates net outflow of capital. So the balance on current account and capital account are interrelated. A deficit in the current account must be settled by a surplus on the capital account. A surplus in the capital account must be matched by a deficit on the current account. The foreign currency held in a country is also taken into account while maintaining the balance of payments accounts. The components of India's foreign exchange reserves include foreign exchange currency assets, gold, special drawing rights, and reserve tranche position in the IMF. Since since BOP always balances in theory, all debits must be offset by all credits and vice versa. In practice, it rarely happens, particularly because statistics are incomplete as well as imperfect. That is why errors and omissions are considered so that BOP accounts are kept in balance. So basically, the balance of payments can be summarized as the summation of Current account balance, capital account balance, and reserve balance. The decrease in official reserves is called the overall balance of payments deficit. The balance of payments deficit or surplus is obtained after adding the current and capital account balances. The balance of payments surplus will be considered as an addition to official reserves. This is a basic understanding of the balance of payments. Thank you for listening.